choice.
Across from your old office.
Yeah, it hurts.
Behind the,
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'd like to call this August 8th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting to order. We ask you to turn off your cell phones or any other devices so not to disrupt the meeting. Anyone wishing to address the board, please come to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. First thing on the agenda is approval of minutes from July 11th, 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns on the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are approved. Director Sheehan.
The first case tonight, Mr. President, is case P10A23. The petition of David Council requesting development plan approval for Bridgeway Church. This is at 1401 East Hoffer Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Someone here to represent this case, please step forward.
Kelly, you need to announce that you're...
Need your name and address and give us a brief summary of what we're doing.
Sure. David Council, address is 2050 West 44th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana. Property is located at 1401 East Hoffer Street. This is it's a redevelopment of an old lot. Building was torn down, and largely it's going to be reused as a parking lot with a new church in the center. Bridgeway Church is the client. 2.8 acres, more or less.
Any questions from the board? Everything good from Clap?
Yes.
Curiosity's got the best of me. How did you put her without having this permit?
That's not my call.
Whose call was it?
The contractor, I guess. Earn Construction is the contractor. I did let them know if you have a concern.
Oh, I'll reach out to them. I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that should never happen. I know it's not your concern, but that should never happen.
Understood.
No, I'll reach out to her.
Any other questions from the board?
I need to announce I'm going to recuse myself. I sit on the board for Bridgeway, so I
So
won't vote.
noted. Any questions from the audience? No questions from the board, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P10A23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved.
Thank you.
Director Sheehan.
Yes, next case, Mr. President, is case P18Z23, petition of Macy Apartments LLC, requesting the Kokomo City Plan Commission petition to recommend to the Copeland Common Council for change in zone classification from R5 high density residential to DC downtown commercial. This is property 313 East Walnut Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Someone here to represent this case, please come forward.
Hello, DJ Butcher, 106 North Washington Street, Kokomo, Indiana, 46901. And we're wanting to rezone 313 East Walnut from R5 to DC. We are remodeling the inside. It currently has 4 units, and we decided to add a 5th unit, which is why we're here. And the 5th unit is going to be approximately 1,219 square foot studio. You guys have a layout of what we're doing, the drawing or anything? If you need one, I have some copies.
I'd like to see one.
And while DJ's handing those out, just so everyone knows, they did receive their special exception at the BZA meeting last week, so, and that was all contingent that the rezoning goes through. So,
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll do that staff report too.
Is there any questions for the board before I go to staff report? Director Sheehan, please.
Now, staff report for case P18Z23, DJ Butcher on behalf of Macy Apartments LLC is requesting a change in zone classification for the property listed above. This lot will be used for multifamily. This property is located within the downtown overlay. The adjoining property zonings are to the north R5 urban residential and MI low density multifamily residential. to the South IS Institutional and C1 Small to Medium Scale General Commercial, and to the east and west both R5 Urban Residential. According to the City of Kokomo zoning ordinance, the DC zoning district is compatible with the neighboring properties listed above. According to the City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map, this area of East Walnut Street is located in an area proposed for high-density residential. High-density residential is single-family, multifamily housing of various types over 6 dwelling units per acre. Typical high-density housing would be townhomes, cluster housing, apartments, and condominiums. Land use goals are to encourage orderly and responsible development, to promote health, safety, and quality of life for residents in the City of Kokomo, while maintaining Kokomo as a leading community for affordable housing. Relevant land use objectives are to encourage adequate land for residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and recreational uses, designate specific districts in the community suitable for residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and recreational uses. The goal of the City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan Transportation Map is to enhance connections throughout the city for improved safety, function, and efficiency for all modes of transportation, including vehicular, bicycle, and pedestrian networks. According to the transportation map, this area of East Walnut Street is defined as a major collector. A major collector is a street designed to facilitate the collection of traffic from local streets. Also, it provides circulation within neighborhood areas and convenient ways to reach arterial streets. The traffic count for this area of East Walnut is 1,300 cars. The staff desires that the board forward a favorable recommendation to Kokomo Common Council based on the information presented by the petitioner.
Any questions from the board now that we've had staff report?
Why aren't you rezoning it to multifamily?
After talking to the planning commission, Mr. Sheeline, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just what we thought was best.
Yes.
Any other questions from the board?
This is more of a clarification. Downtown commercial doesn't have parking standards.
That's correct. That's correct.
Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the board before I call for a vote? All in favor of case P18Z23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Yep. Ms. Barker,
Yay.
Ms. Durham,
Yay.
Ms. Stover,
Yay.
Mr. Graves,
Yay.
Ms. Jefferson,
Yay.
Ms. Rule,
Yes.
Mr. Grieco,
Yay.
Mr. Pike.
No.
Passes 7-1.
Motion passes 7-1. It will now go to the city council and will be presented there by Councilman Grieco.
The next case is case P07P23, petition of Maple Crest Investors LLC by Civil Site Group Incorporated, requesting approval of primary and final plat. This is for a lot on the southwest corner of South Washington Street and Lincoln Road.
Move for approval?
Second.
Good evening, Brian Cross, Civil Site Group, offices at 718 Adams Street, Carmel, Indiana. Here tonight before you to request preliminary and final plat approval for a one-lot plat, southwest quarter of Lincoln and Washington. There's an existing tax parcel that was there on behalf of Maple Crest Investors LLC and Coastal Equities Real Estate LLC. Two entities controlled by the same managing member, just different companies. The Maple Crest Plaza subdivision is the shopping center is controlled by Maple Crest Investors as well. So the .47 acres will be added to .23 acres for .7 acres. And during tech review, there's a small right-of-way grant that we're making at the intersection for an existing sidewalk that was put in by the city some time ago. So now that sidewalk will be in the effective public right-of-way. So the purpose of this plat is to create a parcel large enough for commercial development for a new quick-serve restaurant in the future.
He's got everything done on the plat.
Any questions from the board? Plat was good?
Yes.
Any questions from the audience? Again, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P07P23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved.
Thank you.
Director Schindler.
Next case is case P08P23, petition of Andrew Swanson, requesting approval of primary and final plat for J1 Industries minor subdivision. This is at the southwest corner of North 100 East and East Sparks Road, and is a lot at 2462 North 100 East.
Move to approve.
Second.
Someone here to represent this case, please step forward.
Good afternoon, I'm Jeff Bischoff with JPS Consulting Engineers, located at 9365 Counselors Row in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're here on two agenda items, the fifth and the sixth items on the agenda for the final plat approval for the J1 Industries minor subdivision, and also for the development plan approval, the sixth item. I'd also like to just quickly introduce who I'm with here. I came with my colleague, Andrew Swanson, with JPS, and also Jumo and PMK with J1 Industries.
Any questions from the board as far as the primary and final plat? Any questions from the audience? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P08P23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next case is case P12A23, petition of Andrew Swanson, requesting development plan approval for J1 Kokomo for property described. Again, this is at the southwest corner of North 100 East and East Sparks Road, and a lot 2462 North 100 East. I would ask that whoever makes this motion that there was a
Sorry.
nice job. There was a small hiccup last night in the Drainage Board meeting. So we would ask that the Drainage Board will not meet again until the 21st of this month. So we would ask that whoever makes this motion make it contingent that it's approved by the Drainage Board, if you would, please.
I'll move pending the Drainage Board decision.
Second.
Thank you.
Any questions?
So, I mean, from the city standpoint though, Mr. Pike, everything is
Yeah,
agreeable.
I was at the Drainage Board meeting last night, so, you know, I think it's procedural as much as anything else. Technically, everything's sound.
So, okay.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P12A23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, next case is case P09P23, petition of Jason Hunt, requesting approval of primary and final plat for Toby Pike Minor. This is at the southeast corner of East 200 North and Toby Pike, and adjoining lot to the south. And Mr. Johnson is here to represent that case.
Move for approval.
Second.
Wayne Johnson, 555 Market Road, Tipton. This is a one-lot subdivision. It's almost 6 acres before right-of-way dedication. With right-of-way dedication, it's 5.24 acres, and it meets all your requirements.
Any questions from the board? All good with that?
Yes.
You were satisfied with the wetlands delineation?
Yes.
in your station?
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to ask you that.
Yeah.
Any questions from the audience? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P09P23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved.
Okay, thank you. Just so everyone knows, the next two cases are in conjunction with the case that we just approved. So the The next case is case P19Z23, the petition of RC Enterprise requesting Kokomo City Plan Commission. Petitioner recommended the Kokomo Common Council for change in zone classification from LI, low intensity industrial, within the US 31 ag overlay to MI, moderate intensity industrial, within the US 31 ag overlay. Again, this is at the southeast corner of East 200 North and Toby Pike, and the adjoining lot to the south.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Wyatt Johnson, 555 Market Road. This needs to be rezoned in order to do what they'd like to do, which would be storage buildings.
Any questions from the board before we have staff report?
I assume we're talking self-storage?
Yes.
The moratorium's been lifted on this?
Pardon me?
Moratorium's been lifted on this?
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
Yep,
And
no,
they're-
we've
they're-
got new requirements to go on.
They have to follow the new requirements, yes. And obviously, this is where, one of the requirements, was we wanted to get it into industrial areas, which is what we're trying to do here, so, yes. So, I'm sorry, did you ask for staff report?
Sure.
Okay. Staff report, for case P19Z23, 40th Parallel LLC on behalf of RC Enterprises requesting to change the zone classification for the property address listed above. This lot will be used for a self-storage facility. Although outdoor storage is a permitted use for the proposed base district, it is not permitted within the US 31 agricultural overlay per the City of Kokomo zoning ordinance. However, there are several lots in that currently border this parcel that are zoned as MI. Keep in mind, the next case that we have will be rezoning the overlay to make this a permitted use. So just so everyone knows. I don't want everybody to get confused. According to the City
Too
of
late.
Kokomo, I'm sorry.
Too late.
Too late? According to the City of Kokomo zoning ordinance, the moderate intensity industrial light manufacturer zoning district is compatible with the neighboring properties listed below. Neighboring properties to the north is HI, high intensity industrial heavy manufacturing. To the south, MI, moderate intensity industrial light manufacturing. To the east, LI, low intensity industrial business park. And to the west, again, MI, moderate intensity industrial light manufacturing. According to the City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan, future land use map, the area of Toby Pike is located in an area proposed for US 31 agriculture. The 31 agriculture overlay is designated to recognize existing uses along the corridor and provide for their continued operations. Much of this area used for agricultural purposes. However, there are areas within the zone used for residential and non-residential purposes. It is the purpose of this zone to allow existing uses to continue to operate and expand. However, new non-agricultural uses are discouraged. Land use goals to encourage orderly and responsible development, to promote health, safety, and quality of life for residents in the City of Kokomo while maintaining Kokomo as a leading community for affordable housing. Relevant land use objectives are to encourage adequate land for residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and recreational uses, to allow for a mix of commercial, office, and industrial land uses to provide a diversified tax base. The goal of the City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan Transportation Map is to enhance connections throughout the city for improved safety, function, and efficiency for all modes of transportation, including vehicular, bicycle, and pedestrian networks. The relevant land use objectives are to continue to develop a transportation network that serves and complements the land uses and growth management goals of the city. According to the transportation map, this area of Toby Pike is defined as a minor arterial. A minor arterial is a street that collects and distributes traffic to and from collector and primary arterial streets. The traffic count for the area of Toby Pike is 2,540 cars. The staff desires that the board forward a favorable recommendation to the Kokomo Common Council based on the information presented by the petitioner.
Any questions from the board? Now we've had staff report. Any questions from the audience? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P19Z23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye. Or nay.
Ms. Barker,
Yay.
Ms. Durham,
Aye.
Ms. Stover,
Yay.
Mr. Graves,
Nay.
Ms. Jefferson,
Aye.
Ms. Rule,
Yay.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
yay. Mr. Grieco,
Yay.
Mr. Pike.
Aye.
Passes 7-1.
The case passes 7-1. It will now go to the city council and be presented there by Councilman Grieco.
Okay, next case, Mr. President, is case P20Z23, petition of RC Enterprise requesting Kokomo City Plan Commission petition and recommended the Kokomo Common Council for change in zone classification from US 31 Ag Overlay Agricultural to US 31 OIA OL, which is the Office Industrial Agricultural Overlay. Again, this is for property at the southeast corner of East 200 North and Toby Pike and the adjoining lot to the south.
Move for approval?
Second.
Wyatt Johnson, 555 Market Road. And for this case, I think I'm just a placeholder, so you know somebody's here to represent the case.
Fair enough. Any questions from the board before we have staff report? Director Sheehan, please.
Staff report for case P20Z23, Forties Parallel Surveying on behalf of RC Enterprises LP has requested change in overlay classification for the parcels listed above as they will be used for a self-storage facility. Outdoor storage is not a permitted use within the US 31 agricultural overlay per the current City of Kokomo zoning ordinance. However, it is a permitted use within the US 31 OIA-OL, Office Industrial Agricultural Overlay, which is the overlay that borders the current overlay for said parcels. City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map designates this area of Toby Pike as a location proposed for US 31 agricultural. Land use goals to encourage orderly and responsible development to promote health, safety, and quality of life of residents in the city of Kokomo while maintaining Kokomo as a leading community for affordable housing. Relevant land use objectives are to encourage adequate land for residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and recreational uses, to allow for a mix of commercial, office, and industrial land uses to provide a diversified tax base. According to the City of Kokomo zoning ordinance, US 31 Office Industrial Agriculture Overlay is designated to preserve existing farmland in the area. However, the zone also allows future developments to occur, such as industrial, technology parks, and corporate office campuses that need visibility and good accessibility to US 31. It is anticipated the zone will serve as a future employment and production center in the region. Zones MI, OC, and Ag are the base zonings for this sub-district. Adjoining properties for the specified parcels are zoned as follows: to the north, high-intensity industrial; to the south, moderate-intensity industrial; to the east, low-intensity industrial; and to the west, institutional and MI, moderate-intensity industrial. The goal of the City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan Transportation Map is to enhance connections throughout the city for improved safety, function, and efficiency for all modes of transportation, including vehicular, bicycle, and pedestrian networks. Relevant land use objectives are to continue to develop a transportation network that serves and complements the land use and growth management goals of the city. According to the transportation map, this area of Toby Pike is defined as a minor arterial. Minor arterial is a street that collects and distributes traffic to and from collector and primary arterial streets. The traffic count for this area of Toby Pike is 2,540 cars. The staff desires that the board forward a favorable recommendation to the Kokomo Common Council.
Any questions from the board? Now we've had staff report.
On that case, are we moving the OIA basically to Toby Pike line?
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? Then I'll call for a vote. All in favor of case P20Z23, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is approved and now goes to the city council and will be presented there by Councilman Booker. Thank you, Wyatt.
Thank you.
Other-
I have nothing, right, Jess? I have nothing under other business. Just checking.
Next on the agenda is approval of claims.
I move to approve claims in the amount of $23,016.52.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of claims. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Claims are approved.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.